And we are open for lunch in the Exhibit Marketers Cafe. Welcome to Virtual Lunch. This is our fourth week of virtual lunch. Hard to believe. It's already been 4 weeks. I saw a meme on Facebook this week, and you may have seen it too, but it was really funny. It was 2020 is a unique leap year. There were 29 days in February, 300 days in March, and 6 years in April. So I think we can definitely all relate to that. So welcome to Virtual Lunch. I'm Marlis Arnold, and I am happy to be your host today in the cafe. What I want to do, first of all, is as you come on, I know sometimes it takes a few minutes for people to get here. So please go ahead and introduce yourself in the comments and tell us your name and where you're from. Maybe give us a little bit of insight as to what you do. And so we'll give you a few minutes to get kind of acclimated and get on board and everything. So I'll watch the comments for that. So I've got some resources to share, kind of like what we've done in past weeks. I've got some resources and links to share with you. And then we had a special topic request last week from one of our attendees, from Nicole. She wanted to have some tips on how to communicate with your audience right now during these times. So I've put together a list of tips that I'm going to share, and then definitely you can share as well some of the things that you've seen, and kind of talk a little bit about some of the marketing that we've been seeing lately of what works and what doesn't work. Some companies are really not really hitting the right notes, I guess you could say, with their marketing right now. And I think that may come back to bite them later. But anyway, we'll get into that a little bit more in a few minutes. But some general announcements I want to bring up. And my husband, Alan, again, like usual, is behind the scenes helping out with some of the links. So when you see links pop up, it looks like it's coming from me. It's actually him putting those in for us. So, but I want to go ahead and share. We have a link. You'll notice that I am not using what everybody else seems to be using these days, which is Zoom, partly because they've had some security issues. You've probably heard the term Zoom bombing, where people can hop on and kind of wreck the conversation, should I say. So Alan's got a link he's going to share for some security tips, some things to check in your settings. I know they've been scrambling. I think maybe they've fixed some of these things, but some of it was kind of like, duh, it should have just been, the settings should have been set this way to begin with. So anyway, but let me go ahead and put that up. So this is a really good article from a company called WordFence that specializes in internet security. So I use them as my go-to. They've alerted me on a lot of different kinds of things. It's mainly WordPress related if you have a WordPress website, but they also alert to other kinds of things, hacking and scams and stuff like that. So anyway, if you are using Zoom for any of your conferences, which I'm sure a lot of you are, this is something that I recommend you go check out and just be aware of the settings that you may want to be changing. So anyway, let's see. I also want to point out that if you are working from home, and those of you, I know we're starting to have some regulars now that have been with us for multiple weeks. So if that's you, welcome back. I know you've been through the drill of all of these links before, but if we've got some new people, I just want to make sure and let people know. I did do a blog post and podcast on working from home tips, because this is my world. This is where I work, in my home office in my basement. So, and I've been working at home for over 20 years. So I've got a lot of working from home tips on the Trade Show Insights blog. When you get to the main page, if you just scroll down to where it says podcast, and then you'll see the working from home page right there, and you can go to that. I also, along with that, I created a list of some of my recommended business tools, which, as I said, I don't do Zoom unless I have to as an attendee, but I don't host meetings that way. I've got some recommended tools that I prefer, both for conference calls couple of them are free. Free is always good, right? Especially these days. And then I've also got links to a couple of webinar services. So, and those are, I mean, I love the webinar service that I've been using for the last 5 years. If you've sat in on any of my webinars, you've seen it in action. It's called Webinar Jam. And so I've got a link to that there on that page as well as a couple others that I can solidly endorse. So anyway, so if you're looking for some good, solid business tools, go check that out. I see we've got some new people that have joined us, so I'm going to put back up here. So please introduce yourself if you're here with us today, so we know who's joining us in the cafe, and welcome. We're glad to have you. So let's see, a couple other quick links here. I know that everybody's kind of scrambling right now, and so I wanted to let you know TSNN has a jobs board. If you are looking to hire, or if you have been let go by your company and you need to find something, go check out the jobs that are listed on there. I know that they're working really, really hard to get a really robust list of job opportunities there. So if you do have openings, make sure you get those listed there, and otherwise go check it out. Also, our friend Hadley at EvConFitness, you may have heard a couple weeks ago I mentioned she did a yoga with friends. Well, she's going to do it now every Tuesday and every Thursday. So for you morning people, Tuesday she does it at 7 a.m. Central. Thursday is more my speed. She's doing it at noon Central. So, but I made some little quick links here for you that'll take you to sign up. So if you want to do Tuesdays, just use the link here through exhibitmarketerscafe.com/yoga Tuesday. That'll take you straight to her Tuesday link. And then if you do /yoga Thursday, that'll take you to the Thursday link, and you'll be set up, and it'll send you reminders each week. So, that's a really cool thing that Hadley's offering. EvConFitness is her company that does yoga and fitness at events. And so obviously now she's taken it online. So, it's a great tool to take advantage of during this time. All right, let's see. Tina, hi. Tina Burnham from largeprinting.com. You guys, I have to give you guys a shout out because the Large Printing is located right here in Kansas City. I had the opportunity, if you haven't checked out on my podcast, I did a video tour with them last fall of the whole facility and all the different cool things they do. But they are such an amazing company right now. They've pivoted. I mean, literally on a dime, they pivoted and started making the plexi face shields for the medical community. I believe when I read the article that Tina posted, I believe you guys did it in like 5 days. You completely turned around, started producing those and marketing those. And I know you've been sending out hundreds of them already just in like a week or so. So I couldn't be prouder to say this is one of our local companies here in Kansas City and all the awesome things. And I know there's other people out there in the trade show industry too that have been pivoting. I've been seeing Elite Expo. I just saw a post this morning. They're doing like kiosks, for medical clinics, so that they've got the dividers and the plexiglass and everything so that people can walk up and get tested or checked in or whatever. Lots of exhibit companies and general contractors and convention centers have been working together to turn the convention centers into hospital overflow. So that's been pretty awesome. I know some hotels are offering free rooms for medical workers or, patients that need to recover at home and can't go home or, things like that. So it's just really, really cool what people are doing in this industry. So I think it's been really awesome how, even though our industry in a traditional sense has basically come to a screeching halt for the time being, it's just really cool to see what people are doing to step up. So let's see. Oh, Tina says they've actually shipped thousands out so far. That is so awesome. I mean, it's just amazing. And I'm sure you barely scratched the surface as far as need too. I'm sure that there's still a lot of people out there that are looking for that. So anyway, happy to give the shout out. Let's see. So let's go back here and I'm going to take a look at some of the other things. Oh, on the subject of things that we can do in the industry, Alan's got another link he's going to put up. That I saw an article this week that if you're a show organizer and your show was canceled and you have leftover bags, tote bags, or if you're an exhibitor who got bags created, now if it's not dated and it's not specific, you can go ahead and use those for future shows. But if it was something that was for an event that got canceled and you've got, hundreds or thousands of bags, there's a place where you can donate those to be cut apart and turned into masks. So let me put that link up there. So this was an article on meetingsnet.com. So I know some of these links get a little bit long, but hopefully you got time to jot them down. Also, you'll see they're in the comments as you're watching along. And then I'll make sure when I post this to YouTube, I include the links there as well. But, so that's another great thing that's really easy to do, that you can send those off to that organization so that they can make masks out of them. So that's pretty cool. Oh, there was also another article or another link that I want to have Alan share is UFI, which I can't remember exactly what it stands for. It's the European Global Exhibition Industry Organization. But anyway, UFI did a webinar last week with an economist. And now keep in mind that is... it's a little bit more skewed towards Europe because that's where they're based, but he did a really, really good job. If you're like me and you really don't get all that economy speak stuff, he did a really good job of explaining all of that. So here's the link to go on YouTube. And again, this one, you're definitely going to either want to jot down because YouTube links are weird or copy and paste or something out of the comments. But anyway, it's, like I said, it's European focused, and especially in the Q&A session at the end gets really European focused. But you may want to go check that out and just get some perspective and to know that this too shall pass. And he's got some really good insights as to how he thinks it's going to turn around. So that was really good. Let's see, what else do I have? Oh, and another YouTube link. This one's just purely for fun. One of the things I wanted to talk about as we kind of transitioned into communicating with your audience, one of the ways that you can do it is to take a more personal approach and to connect with your audience on a more personal level. And I don't know, I'm not typically a late night talk show person, but somebody had shared this and I went and watched this couple of videos. But Jimmy Fallon, who hosts the Tonight Show, he's been broadcasting like everybody else. He's been broadcasting from home. And so I watched a one segment that he did where it was just he and his wife going for a walk, and he was using a selfie stick and filming, and they were just having a conversation and walking along, talking about how they met and stuff. So, but just, it's making all these people more relatable. And so another thing that he did that was really funny, he teamed up with Sting and his Roots band. And of course, all of them are from home. So it's like, it looks like the Brady Bunch with like all the different pictures. But they did Sting's song, Don't Stand So Close to Me. And so they're all playing, some of them some rather unique instruments. But anyway, it's a very entertaining bit. So anyway, so I did want to share that link as well. But so there you go. There's that link. You can jot that one down as well. Okay, let's see. I think that was it for our link. So I want to transition back over to talking about our topic of the day, which is communicating with your audience. And I had already kind of addressed the whole idea of taking a more personal approach and being relatable. One thing I did want to say is that I just came across a study, a report this morning, an article that talked about a study that they did after the recession in 2008. And they found that companies that either maintained or increased their marketing during that time grew by 275% over the next 5 years. Whereas those who cut their marketing spend grew by only 19% over the same 5-year period. So, now is not the time to just stop the marketing, which I know that's kind of like the gut reaction, especially from the check writers at some organizations, but it's a time to redirect and refocus the marketing. And so some of the things that you can do is, don't try to ignore the situation. Don't beat it to death either. I mean, if you're like me, you're tired of getting 65 or 65,000 emails a day. That's like our COVID-19, strategy, blah, 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 blah. No, talk about actual problems and offer solutions. You've seen like with some of the car companies, they've been doing a really good job of like their commercials now on TV. They're talking about how they'll work with you on financing, or how they can, bring a car to you or pick up your car for servicing, or you can come in and bring it in, for contactless service and just drop it off at the dealership or whatever. They're really trying to address, the fact that people are hesitant to have contact right now. And they're also addressing the fact of, we can help take care of you. We're going to provide you with some services that, can benefit you, whether or not you even realize you're looking for it or not. So that's one of those things that you can do. Finding ways to support your community, things that you can do. Like we talked about what a lot of people in the trade show industry are doing to support the community right now. And that's, that's a really good thing. Doing things for the community. So, what could you do for them? Can you donate something? Is your audience something that, you can buy from them? If you sell to like a local audience, especially, is there ways that you can support local business? I have a article that I shared in my personal Facebook recently about a small bookstore. I think it was in Connecticut, and they got really creative because A, she wanted to be able to not have to lay her staff off, and B, she wanted to help the community. So she put together this grand plan where they put a call out to the community to donate so that they could give away books to local students who were, what do I want to say? Underprivileged, I guess you could put it. But anyway, so the whole campaign ended up, they raised $150,000 to give away over 1,000 books to local kids. And so it was like a win-win all the way around. The community came together, supported the bookstore, supported the kids. The bookstore was able to keep their staff on board and give away books. And so it was such a cool plan. So, sometimes you really got to think outside the box, like way outside the box, for ways that you can reach out to the community. We kind of already addressed this. You want to stay visible, but don't be a pest. Don't send 16 emails a day, please. No. I've been getting some of those, and it's like, really? Do you have anything else to do? And maybe they don't. But anyway, I'm going to put this back up. So if we've got some new people that would like to introduce themselves. But anyway, so, stay visible. Don't vanish, don't ghost on people, but don't send them multiple emails a day. Stay active in your social media channels, whatever channels work for your audience. Send email maybe once or twice a week, but not all the time. Produce educational and relevant content. So, kind of like what we're doing here, we're doing educational content, and, I'm providing this for you. I'm doing it at no charge. I want to be able to help out people in the community. I hope that you're getting something from this, and that you're able to take it back and use it in your own business, or, some of the personal links that we've been sharing, things that you can do maybe with your family to try to get through this time. I want to be here to help you. I want to also extend the invitation. If there's other things that I can do, let me know. Obviously I have a lot of experience being on camera doing web hosting. So that's one thing I put together. A whole new service I'm offering is a web host. So, there's a lot of different ways that we can all work together and help each other. At this point in time, you want to focus on building relationships and trust with your audience, and always make sure that you're showing empathy and transparency. That's one of the things I've seen coming through poorly in a lot of marketing, is that sometimes they're maybe too transparent, in that you can see that they're desperate. But anyway, so just make sure that you're being authentic and empathetic. Lara, hi, long time no see. So glad to see you on the lunch today. I'm glad you were able to hop in. All right, so let's see. Let me take a look here at my notes. I think that's mostly what I had as far as notes with the idea of communicating during this time. So, go ahead if you've got some comments, or you've got some tips, or you've seen some marketing that's been done really well and very clever. Go ahead and share that in the comments, and we'll post that up on the screen. But like I said, the thing is, you want to make sure that you're sharing things that are helpful, and you don't want to sound like you're like shouting at people. Just make it very conversational, sharing some, I've seen a lot of really good marketing that's just kind of like, hey, I'm hanging out. I sent my kids to the other room, and I just wanted to reach out and do this broadcast, or wanted to send you a quick email just because I was thinking of you, or, those kinds of things. It's just really, those are the kinds of things that are going to resonate with people right now. Or just literally sending an email and saying, hey, how can I help you? What do you need? What resources can I connect you with? All those kinds of things, because all of that is going to pay off down the road. Like I said, back to that initial research study that I shared, that companies that maintained their marketing, and, like I said, that's not marketing in the same sense you've always done it. That's just maintaining marketing, maintaining the lines of communication with your audience. But the people who do that are definitely going to be positioned when this takes off. And as the Economist said in the webinar that I shared earlier, that when this takes off, it could go at a very steep climb. So, we need to be prepared, and we need to make sure that we've maintained that channel of communication with people. All right, so I'm going to check the comments again and just see. I don't see any other comments or tips. So hopefully you guys got some good tips out of here, that you've got a good strategy now of some ideas and ways that you can reach out to your audience in a authentic and conversational way. And speaking of conversation, we will be back here again next Tuesday, again, same time. It will be a new link, so make sure you always go back to the virtual lunch page, which is exhibitmarketerscafe.com/lunch. And I'll always have the latest link there so that you can join into the live stream. And one of these days, maybe we'll get somebody that's brave enough to come on camera. But I know that also you guys are probably spending lots of time on calls these days, and you don't necessarily want to be on camera. And I'm totally cool with that too. So that's why we have the chat available. So I'm going to take one more look here, and I don't see any other comments. So I think we'll go ahead and wrap up our lunch for today. I want to thank you for sharing your time and joining in. And if you're watching on the replay, go ahead and share your comments as well if you've got questions or ideas, because we will go ahead and keep that conversation going. So anyway, but we look forward to seeing you next Tuesday, again, noon Central, here online for the virtual lunch. So have a good week, everybody, and we'll see you next Tuesday. Bye.